All right, party goers, welcome back to Zero Dark Nerdy, the galaxy's most popular father and daughter pop culture podcast. Brought to you by Cut the Music Prints for all your custom apparel needs here in Greensboro, North Carolina. Team Mad 3D Printing for all of your 3D printing needs. Let's not forget about our good friends over at Sailfish Comics with 3 locations in NC, one in Greensboro, one in Concord, one in Winston-Salem for all of your graphic novel, comic book, action figure, and pop culture card needs. Fox 8, thank you so much for your wonderful partnership as we are about almost a half a year in. And of course, our favorite theater in all the land, Golden Ticket Cinemas, for all your cinematic adventures, the former Brassfield Cinemas. Be sure to check them out. So,
Yes.
on this episode, we are going to be talking about an angel sent to us from heaven. Catherin O'Hara just passed away on January 30th to the surprise of, I believe, literally everybody.
Hmm.
71 years young, Canada's very own. She has done over 124 acting credits. You may know her as Delia Dietz in Beetlejuice, the mom Kate in Home Alone 1 and 2. She was Sally in Nightmare Before Christmas. Cookie Fleck in Best in Show, which is a super underrated comedy, in my opinion. What else? Mickey Crab in A Mighty Wind, I apologize. And of course, we cannot forget her performances as Moira in Schitt's Creek, and of course, Pinktail in The Wild Robot, which is so damn good. And just as
Yes.
recently, last year, she was Gale in The Last of Us Season 2. Major highlight of what was a very, and we'll get into that, average season
Hmm.
for The Last of Us. And Patty Lee in the studio with Seth Rogen on Apple TV. So it's a tremendous loss for Hollywood, for all of us that grew up on her, and just seeing the performances, the resurgence, of course, as Moira in Schitt's Creek, and on top of that, like, even though we're not in Hollywood per se, from what we've seen and what we've read, I mean, literally nobody ever had a bad thing to say about her. Just a truly wonderful actress, and I'm sure if we got to meet her in person, a truly wonderful human being. So, this episode is all about her. We got some shout outs. There's a lot of fave performances for people that commented on our Facebook and Instagram in terms of like how they first got introduced to her and favorite performances. But, Jordan, what is your kind of like just memory, like highlights, everything when it comes to Catherine O'Hara?
Yeah, so I don't know what came first for me, if it was her and as the mom in Home Alone, Kate in Home Alone, or if it was Delia in Beetlejuice. I'd say like in my mind, like the most memorable uh like image of her that I have just had forever is Beetlejuice,
Sure.
Delia and Beetlejuice, just because it's such a big movie for our family and we all watch it like quarterly, if not every other week, if you're Titiani.
Every Halloween at
So
least.
yeah, definitely Home Alone. Um, for sure. I only saw Best in Show for the first time like a few years ago. I didn't even know about the movie, but it's so good. I have it on VHS now. I have my little TV, and
Oh,
so
nice. I didn't know
I
you had
think
it on VHS.
I think mom got it for me. It was on my like Amazon wish list. Like they had
Uh-huh.
a VHS, and so I've got that now. And I rewatched that scene the other day where they're singing the song about the dog. So yeah, Best in Show, she was great. That entire cast is great though. Yeah, Gail in The Last of Us. It's really a shame that we won't get to see more of her character. I
Agreed.
honestly think, is The Last of Us is already like I'm kind of skeptical how the rest is gonna go just because the last season wasn't awesome and people are kind of stepping away. The creator himself of the game is stepping away to supposedly just, keep working on video games and stuff, which is fine. But I don't know. And then we're losing, she was such a powerful character who didn't exist in the games, but is like
Right.
kind of steering the narrative of the story in The Last of Us season two, and especially with Joel's character and kind of unpacking that. And so I have no idea what they're gonna do with the loss of that because I think she was a really pivotal part of, again, driving the narrative of that show. And that was actually a lot of times with like, video game adaptations or book adaptations, you want it to stay really close to the original format, but
Yeah.
even though her character was brand new, I really liked it. She was a great performer in that, and
Yep.
it's a shame that we're not going to get to see her play that role anymore. But she was great as Gail in The Last of Us as the therapist. Um, Definitely loved her as Pinktail and as the mother
Ah,
possum and Wild Robot.
so
Wild
good.
Robot, one of the best animated movies to come out in years, and just such a funny, heartwarming movie. I'm
Yeah.
sure she loved. I can imagine she loved playing that role. She
Yeah.
was a very proud mom and um,
Yeah.
kind of just very motivated by her children, and so I can imagine she loved playing that role as the mother possum with all the kids, and it was. I really enjoyed that too. I didn't really realize that was her
Mhm.
until, kind of looking back at all the roles she did. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's funny because I was looking at her acting credits and she has a lot of voice acting credits
Yeah.
and totally get it. And to be honest with you, I didn't realize that that was Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas up until
I didn't know
recently
that either. I was scared
at
to like
all.
say that.
Yeah.
Did not know.
Yeah, we're not perfect. We're pop culture fans. We don't
I
know it
know.
all. We're not the Oracle or anything else. You know,
Or
we
watcher.
we we get surprised just as much as everybody else out there. But yeah, I had no idea, and I mean, it makes
Mm-mm.
sense, especially with the Tim Burton, relationship there, because really for her, it was Delia. That was
Right.
my first introduction to her because Beetlejuice came out in '88, and I believe Home Alone was '89. So she
Yeah.
started riding a really, really phenomenal wave after that. And I mean, of course, as the mom in Home Alone, Kevin and everything else, and especially in Home Alone Part Two, which I feel like is a super underrated sequel. It's not as good as the first one, but it's still pretty damn good.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, and
Is that
she's
the one where he's in New York,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Lost in New York. And
So
they came
good.
out with a couple video games for it
I
too,
might even
and
like
the
that
video
one
games
more
are
just
fun.
because, I mean, probably just because I just love New
Because you
York and
love New
Christmas
York.
time in
Yeah.
New York, but I mean, yeah.
Exactly. I mean, she was besides Peggy Bundy, which was like my TV mom growing up. We loved Married with Children. And but as far as movie moms go, like that was my first movie mom was her Delia. I mean, you can never forget the Harry Belafonte scenes in Beetlejuice. And she was still great in Beetlejuice, even though the movie itself wasn't
Right.
phenomenal.
Right.
She's great. Like she's never, in my opinion, had a bad performance. She comes in, does her job, and she does her job very, very well. And especially with these mockumentaries, like her performance as Cookie in Best in Show is
Hmm.
so hysterical. And I love these little mockumentaries. And it's funny because they came out before The Office, like before we started getting them in TV format. We had these movies like Best in Show that were highlighting things that you wouldn't even think that like would deserve to be highlighted. Like who would have thought to do a movie on people that were like pet handlers for a dog show? And it's just done so well. And of course,
Eugene Levy. Sorry, I was
Eugene Levy.
muted. Yeah, Eugene
Sorry, yeah,
Levy.
Eugene Levy is fantastic. And the fact that she's also like R.I.P. We love you, Catherine O'Hara, but
She
your
was, yeah.
character, she was very promiscuous. Let's just say that. So like the little nuances and comments, and she was getting around before and possibly during while she was married to Eugene Levy's character, which I cannot remember his name, but they're my favorite couple in that. And if you've not seen Best in Show, seriously, go watch it like immediately. Like
Yeah.
pause this
It's a
episode.
comedy classic. I had no idea.
Oh,
I'd never even heard of it. And I was
oh,
like,
it was
how
an
have I not
underrated
heard of
gem.
this?
Well, because especially because it came out in 2000. Like this was I never heard about it being in theaters. Like, I definitely remember seeing this as a
Wonder what it premiered
DVD.
on.
Yeah, I mean,
Or I
because
guess
it
was it
came out,
straight to
yeah,
DVD?
so it came out in 2000, and I remember your abuelo, our dad talked about it and ended up watching it. And yeah, it was, like I said, light years before its time, before The Office came out on TV, and even before the UK Office. Like, mockumentaries weren't really a thing, like, even before Reno 911. And the fact that they did one on people that had pets going to a dog show for the National Dog Show, and the different, you have like your stereotypical like gay couple. You have Cookie and Eugene Levy. You have like the hunter who has like the hound, going and seeing the different variations of people and everything else. Like, it really is a super underrated classic. And that's the thing, it was very under the radar. I don't even think
I
it got a national
I think it did, and
re-release.
it says it had a theatrical release on September 29th, 2000, followed by a wider release in May 2001. The
Okay.
mockumentary was a theatrical success.
Huh.
Um,
But across how many theaters though?
mm, I'll look it
Hey,
up.
either way, this was a lot of us. I don't know anyone that's ever seen it in theaters. They need to, now that it's come out in 2000, 25-year anniversary, maybe we can get golden ticket. I would love to see this movie. I would love to see it in an actual theater.
Yeah.
It's been that long. And what was
Uh,
the official release date in 2000? Just out of
I think
curiosity.
it said September
Okay.
something. But it so it says the film opened to a weekend gross of 413,436 to 13 theaters with an
Okay.
average of 31,802 per theater. After opening to a total of 497 theaters, the film ended its run with a domestic total of about 19 million.
Wow.
The foreign gross, yeah, yeah.
So I'm
After
sure,
the
because,
foreign gross, 20, almost 21 million.
and it costs what? I would say no more than 5
Probably
million to
nothing.
make.
Yeah.
Like, if that. So
And
yeah, it was a success.
I
Goodness.
just read too that it was like apparently like a six, as probably a lot of comedies are, it was like a 16-page narrative, and it was just, that's how improvised it was.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah. And
all of it is
Eugene
so
Levy
good.
with the teeth on top of that. It's so good. Like, I
That
can't wait to
just,
watch it again.
yeah,
I
that
can't
just
wait.
reminds me of Abuelo. Like, just seeing
Yeah.
his face with those teeth, and like, oh my God.
So, besides that, I saw Mighty Win one time where she played Mickey.
Mm,
I believe it's Mickey Crab. Good movie. I
never seen
definitely
it.
need to catch it again. It's the same director from Best in Show. But yeah, just like you said, Pinktail and the Wild Robot. I think the Wild Robot, to be honest with you, is like a top five animated film.
It
Period.
is. It's
It's so
so
good.
good. It's beautiful. I have it on 4K now. I'm so excited to watch it. Like,
Oh,
I cry. Well, I've only seen it twice. Any movies that I love, I purposefully don't watch them. I don't rewatch them because I'm terrified of them not being, like them getting old. Like, I hate that
yeah.
idea. So I'll watch it like in a few years, but yeah, it's such a beautiful movie.
She's great in it, and it really was an underrated gem. I cannot wait. Apparently, they're doing a sequel, which they should, because I think
Yeah,
it's like 3 or 4 books as far as in the series, if I'm
I
not
think so,
mistaken.
yeah.
So, I have yet to watch the studio. I cannot wait to
Me
watch it
neither.
as she plays Patty Lee. And of course, the outpouring came out from literally all of Hollywood, from Pedro Pascal, of course, from The Last of Us, to Seth Rogen, to even Macaulay Culkin. Like, his post, I wanted to tear up a little bit, where he's like, I wanted to sit next to you. I had so much more to say. Like, she was there when he got his Hollywood Walk of Fame, and his story, of
Yeah.
course, is just incredible, because with these child actors, Hollywood spits them up and chews them out, especially in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
And for him and his family, of course, his brother's been crushing it, from Succession to everything else. But it was very, very heartwarming. I always remember seeing when he got his star, and her being there, and really one of the few people there. just means a lot, and you can tell what she meant to everyone else out there. So in terms of shout outs, we did a couple posts over the weekend. We wanted to get some feedback in terms of what were some of your favorite uh, roles or characters from Catherin O'Hara. Catherine Hughes, big shout out to Terminal Tap. Cookie Flick, of course, from Best in Show, and Moira. Moira's all over the place on this list, which is understandable. Like, the more I see the highlights, I love Schitt's Creek. I only did a once through on it. I'm definitely. I talked to Ashley about it yesterday. I was like, we need to go back and just power through Schitt's Creek again because it really is great, and she is the heart and soul of the show, and just so funny. Our buddy T Mad, who's done phenomenal stuff like this, and our Doctor Doom mess out there. Same thing. Cookie Flick, Moira Rose, Christine Greason, Moira and Delia Dietz. Our boy Chris Burke, Moira, Kelly Lewis, Delia and Moira, Lindsay Boyette, Moira, Courtney Austin, Delia, and our girl Caroline Pate, Moira, and Delia Dietz. So those are the top two for sure. I gotta say, Cookie's definitely up there. In terms of top three, I gotta go Moira, Delia, and Cookie from Best in Show. What is your top three, Jordan?
Hmm. Probably Delia for sure.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, I want to say Cookie, but I've only seen Best in Show once because it was so good.
Yeah.
Like I don't want it to get old. Like I'm gonna rewatch it, especially because I just got the tape for Christmas. I watched it on my little on my little TV, but
Hmm.
I'll save that one. So I think Delia's number one for me, and then I guess maybe Pinktail's number two, Possum from Wild Robot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I guess I'll say right now, just based on my memory, I'm gonna say Gale from The Last of Us, just because, again, you're right, it was a season that wasn't. It was good, it was very good, but it wasn't like it didn't live up to the first one at all. But her character was super good, and so I just feel like, yeah, based on how I feel about like losing that character and like what that's gonna mean for the show, I'm like
Mhm.
the weight of that, I think shows how much I really enjoyed her performance in that. So I'll
Yeah.
say Gale, so that third one.
I think that's probably because it was the last season, which wasn't fantastic. I think that performance is kind of lost in the wind, unfortunately.
Yeah.
She was great because that's her character in the show was not in the video game, correct?
Right. Right. No.
Exactly.
It was definitely like the narrative tool
Yeah.
for kind of like more of the subtextual stuff going on with Joel
Yeah.
um and her husband was a character in the game as well, but I don't think you ever saw him, but he was part of the story
That's right. He was
kind
the
of.
guy that grew the weed.
Yeah, and that was like
Yeah.
it. It was like that was it, really.
Yeah.
That was it. Like you never saw him. He didn't have that whole thing leading up to Joel having to kill him after he's starting to turn. You
Right.
didn't have, but you knew that in the game that something like that did happen to him.
Yeah.
But I don't think it had to do with Joel or like, it just, you never saw that character. So I
Yeah.
think they did a really good job incorporating her into this in like a meaningful way. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And I mean, that's the one thing I've enjoyed about the show, just to get a little bit off topic, is at the end of the day, we don't want to see a pure video game adaptation in a TV show.
Right.
We want to see some of the side stuff, like the episode last year with Ron Swanson. I definitely thought it should have been a two-parter. Love seeing the stuff on the relationship, but
Hmm.
video game wise, him booby trapping the whole town should have also been another
Yeah.
episode by itself to make everybody happy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, to go off narrative and to see the backstory, because there was hints in the video game that he was
Right.
attracted to men.
Hmm.
Totally get it. And the episode was a very beautiful episode. It
It
was
was
very well
so
done.
good.
It was
Very
emotional.
standout.
Oh, goodness. Like, it showed up on my time hop because this is where we're at right now. It was literally like almost 2 years ago to the day where we
Hmm.
got that episode. And it was, I mean, to see Nick Offerman,
Hmm.
um, just normally that we see him as like, you know,
Comedic roles and stuff like
comedic
that.
roles,
Yeah.
and to go into this and to see that side of it, which was hinted in the video game, to fully see
Yeah.
it, it was great. But one of my favorite parts of the first video game, though, is all the booby traps and everything about the town itself, which I feel like
Yeah.
they did a decent job of showing that, but I really felt like they could have stretched it out into 2 episodes.
Yeah, they could have. It's just there's a lot of like sub characters in the games and stuff, and so I guess
Right.
you just kind of have to pick and choose. And I think they did a good job. Like they expanded the character, and like you got to see that backstory, which was amazing. It feels like you got to get like a bookish view on The Last of Us
Right.
as far as like getting more details about the background and the
Yes.
subtext that like you can't really get from the game. So that was cool, but yeah.
Right. And if you're going to make a show out of it, why do I want to watch a TV show that is verbatim the video game? I can just play the video game.
Yeah, and it's
And I do
just
want to see some stuff from the game.
I get it. Like I get it. I want to see game accurate stuff too with anything.
Yeah.
Like I'm a big Assassin's Creed fan. I hope they can redo it one day and like Valhalla would be awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna feel a type of way about it. But like at the same time, you have to know like you have to like lower your standards a little bit because that you're just setting yourself up for disappointment if you want it to be exactly like the game because it's never going to be. No matter how good, like it's never going to be exactly like the game
Yeah.
because that's what the game's for. Um, so yeah. But yeah, we can do a
Yeah.
video game episode another day
Exactly.
about
And we will. And we will.
adaptations.
So, anything else
I
for
don't
our
think
girl
so.
Catherine?
Um, she did voice in Elemental. I don't, that was like that was also like a brushed
Yeah.
over Pixar film.
Yeah.
That's actually really good. I know it's kind of like Pixar's been in and out of this like flop era kind of where they're kind of trying to find their footing again. And I think they are now, which is really exciting. They're going to bring back some hand painted movies, and I think Pixar's got a good future ahead of them. But they definitely went through this period where they were struggling, and like you wouldn't see even previews for their stuff and whatnot. But Elemental was really good, and so she played Wade's mom in Elemental, the
Hmm.
watery guy, and she has some
Ripple.
funny scenes in that. Yeah, Ripple. So Elemental, she's great, another voice acting role. And then I also just saw like looked it up and just looking at her like voice acting roles, and apparently she's the voice of Tina, the alien mom in Chicken Little. Uh,
Really?
yeah, like the little orange fuzzy
Oh my goodness.
guy
That
girl.
was your favorite film when you were a kid.
Yeah, and so I can't hear it. I
Yeah.
know the character. The
Yeah.
character when I saw her, I was like, "Oh yeah," but I'm gonna have to rewatch Chicken Little and pay attention and look for that
That's the
because that's
only
pretty cool.
performance I enjoy by Zach. What's his name? Zach
I don't know.
Braff or whatever, the dude from the T-Mobile commercials.
Who is he? Chicken Little?
Yeah, he's Chicken
No.
Little.
Really?
Look it up. Look it up. He was in Scrubs. A
I
lot
know
of
who he
people
is.
know him
Yeah, I
from
know who he
Scrubs.
is.
Yeah, but he
I
was
know
actually
exactly who he
Chicken Little.
is.
That's literally the
Oh my
because
God.
I
I know that was
hate
him.
the T-Mobile commercials.
Yeah.
Absolutely hate them. And I was never a big fan of
Yeah.
Scrubs, but I
I
thought
never
he was
watched
great
it,
as Chicken
so.
Little. So, but yeah, by the way, on Elemental, we interviewed Sheila Omi, who was Cinder,
Hmm. The mom
and
of
yeah, the
Ember,
mom
right?
of Ember. So be sure to check that episode out on
Very
our
cool.
YouTube channel, as well
Very,
as
very
all of
sweet
our.
person,
Oh, she
genuine
is
episode.
the nicest person on the
Yeah.
planet. Like
Yeah.
oh, you're the best, Sheila. We love you. But most importantly, Catherin O'Hara, we love you. We already miss you. Um, no words really. At the end of the day, all the prayers and everything your way to your family and your loved ones. Even though we didn't get to know you personally,
Yeah.
we grew up with you, and it's just the evolution, right? From Delia to Moira at the end of the day, and Moira, what a standout character. To
I'll
me,
have
to
to
be
watch
honest
Schitt's
with
Creek.
you,
I've never seen it in my life, but
oh my
I know
goodness.
that she's a very beloved character of a very beloved
She,
show. So,
the whole cast is great, and I will say it will go down as because I know when you talk about top shows, right? It always comes back to the '90s and like early 2000s. A lot of people are like Friends and Seinfeld and this, that, and the other.
right,
Schitt's Creek, in terms of like 2010s, because I think it wrapped up in early 2020s, will go
right. It
down
was like in the
as
era of like New Girl, right? New Girl
ish,
and
ish, but it was a Canadian show that got
oh,
picked up in the States, so it was hard to watch at first, especially new episodes, because you could only catch it. I can't remember the platform, but the majority of the cast, if not all the cast, was Canadian. So it was on a Canadian platform, but it is up there. If you're going to compare it to like especially comedies of like the '90s and 2000s, it's up there with Friends, with Seinfeld, a bunch of other spin-offs. But at the end of the
yeah,
day, like
it's a
this was
sitcom
really,
classic.
yeah, and for it to really find its footing and not getting a ton of promotion, like it was a very fan based entourage, for lack of a better term, that helped build this show up and give it its momentum, and honestly give it its flowers, because it really is hysterical about a family that was stupid rich. And and the funniest thing too is, Eugene Levy's character, he owned a chain of video stores. So it's like he was this pretty much the CEO of
Hmm.
Blockbuster, but it wasn't Blockbuster. And after they go bankrupt and everything else, the only thing that's left to him is the fact that they literally paid money for a town as an inside joke. Hence, up
Hmm.
Schitt's Creek. They literally bought a town called Schitt's Creek, and that was the only thing that they were left after their mansion and everything else was taken from them. I think it was like as a present or something. They bought it for like their son. Like they
Do
were
they
like,
show
oh,
this? They show like
they
the
they,
back
they
flashbacks or
talk
whatever.
about it in the first episode.
Okay, I was wondering
Yeah,
if they showed like flashbacks from like
yeah, no, there's not. Yeah, I
oh,
don't believe there's any flashbacks on the show. Actually,
okay.
there is some. There is some, because it shows like Moira doing commercials. Like it's like the training videos for
Mm-hmm.
people that were working at the video store.
Okay.
And Moira herself is an actress. So
Oh.
she does all this stuff, and then one of her things is this crows thing. And you got to watch it, Jordan. I
I
swear to God,
will.
you and B are going to love it. Schitt's Creek
I
is
will.
legit a hysterical comedy. And it's like once it stopped, nobody really talks about it anymore. Now, with the unfortunate passing of Catherine, I do feel like we're going to get a resurgence of this, which it
Oh, for
should.
sure, yeah.
And to be honest with you, it should, because she is hysterical in it. I watched a whole YouTube reel of just like best Moira Rose
Mm-hmm.
one-liners. It was like 15 minutes long. That's how good she is in the show. And honestly, the whole cast is fantastic. So if you've not watched Schitt's Creek, you really, really need to watch it. Not just you, but anybody listening, anybody
Yeah.
watching. It really is good. It is worth the hype. I can't wait to rewatch it. So yeah, big RIP to Catherin O'Hara again, to close friends and family. We're feeling for you. She is definitely she's gonna be missed. So, at the end of the day, hug each other, love each other, kiss each other. You never know what day is going to be your last. I know we're just starting 2026. So we're in February, month of love, Valentine's Day coming up, Friday the 13th before Valentine's Day,
Mm-hmm.
which is always fun. But at the end of the day, we appreciate the love and support here at Zero Dark Nerdy. Be sure to catch brand new episodes out on Fox 8 every Wednesday, on our YouTube platform, Zero Dark Nerdy. Anything that you'd like for us to cover, let us know. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Zero Dark Nerdy, as well as Greensboro Game Nights and Events for all of your local game nights and trivias across the Triad. You can also find that on our website, on our events page. On behalf of Baby Knife, this is your boy El Nino, and we'll see you next time. Peace.